A new study has shown that gender also plays a part. Well, Dr. Orr Perot from the Woolcock Institute of Medical Research has been looking into how men and women differ in their sleeping patterns right across their lifespan. Dr. Perot joins us now. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
Hi, happy to be here.
Dr. Perot, just talk to us about how you started to notice this difference between how men and women sleep.
Well, originally I'm working more on the effect of non-pharmacological intervention to improve sleep. And I report how they work, how much people will respond to it. But the more I look into it and the more I saw inter-individual differences, and you can't talk about inter-individual differences without actually saying difference between sex. And that's how I became interested in sex difference and women's health more specifically now.
Okay, so when you say that there is a difference between the way men and women sleep, are you talking about gender roles, or are you talking about the physiological makeup?
Well, it's a very good question, because indeed we look at both the effect of biological sex. So, and that's where we see there is actually biological difference in sleep. But it is very important to also take into consideration gender role and how society treats a certain gender, on their expectation, their attitude, on who take the mental load, who take care of the children, etc. All this will also affect sleep.
Yeah, of course, because if you've got a lot on your mind and lots of mental load, very difficult to sleep, of course. So talk to us about the main differences here, and how much does age play a part as well?
So they both play a massive part, and we should basically always take into consideration age and sex as well, the different step in life. So, for example, we do know that sleep change with age. It is normal to see it change. But what we know now is actually it changed differently a bit according to sex. So, for example, if we specifically talk about sex difference, we can see that men would spend less time in deep sleep, which is very important for recovery processes and cognitive processes. But we don't see necessarily that decrease in women. But on the other side, we see that women are twice more likely to develop sleep disturbances, and this is due to the different reproductive event that happen during life, but also again due to gender roles that often have a much more mental load, more increase in depression and anxiety in women.
Right. And does the quality of sleep have an impact on the genders, and do they have a different sort of impact on the genders?
So the quality of sleep matter in both sex, that's for sure. But the thing is, it's a mix between indeed your quality of sleep, so sleep itself, but also how you perceive sleep. And this can be influenced by factors that are not just sleep itself. So it could be linked to also depression, anxiety, stress, and this is more prone in women as well.
Now, Dr. Perot, look, I'm having some problems having this word, isn't it? Well, I did not get enough sleep, obviously. Kath has just pointed that out to me, and that's why I'm having difficulties trying to speak here. What I'm trying to say is that, just talking to a lot of my girlfriends, and they say as soon as they get into bed, their male partners just fall asleep just like that. And listen, I found that the same as well. And then I get frustrated that I can't get to sleep as well. Is it true that men have better sleep than women?
It's always difficult to generalize, and I hate generalizing. But it is true that, again, women are more likely to report sleep disturbances, including difficulty falling asleep or maintaining sleep. Again, this example is exactly the example of how stress and anxiety and ruminative thought happen more to women. So difficulty to fall asleep because suddenly your brain turns on and you think about what I'm supposed to do tomorrow and what to feed the kids tomorrow night, etc., etc. Versus men, some men might have it, but not all men might indeed have this type of thought before going to bed, and they just fall asleep like this. But we do know that women take more time to fall asleep.